Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey here, once again with another video on The Flash Season 4. So obviously we are only just under, actually about 2.5 weeks away from The Flash coming back, which is pretty exciting. And obviously because we are pretty close to it coming back along with all the other CW/DC shows, we are going to be getting a few more promotional things popping up over the next, couple of weeks. But for those that haven't seen it, I do want to refresh. Here is the promo for episode 10, or the mid-season premiere, once again, which is otherwise entitled The Trial of the Flash.
My name is Barry Allen, and I'm an innocent man. I'm being framed for something that I didn't do.
He stood among us, a wolf in sheep's clothing.
This is the only way. Tell everyone you're the Flash.
If everyone knew my secret, we would never be able to stop running.
The Flash returns with an all-new episode Tuesday, January 16th on the CW.
Now, they released that promo for the mid-season premiere, like, right after the mid-season finale. It wasn't like a massive wait. I think it was a day after, if not straight after. So we didn't have to wait too long to see that promo. But one thing they did really hold off releasing was actually the synopsis or description for the mid-season premiere. And I was wondering, okay, when the hell are they going to actually drop it? And, well, over the past couple of days, they dropped it. So we will quickly go over that synopsis as well as bringing up some other big things around the premiere that a lot of people have been talking about. As Barry's trial for the murder of Clifford DeVoe begins, Iris and Joe must decide how far they are willing to go to keep Barry out of prison. So obviously we know Barry will be on trial for the quote-unquote murder of Clifford DeVoe due to, well, firstly the fact that it is all over the promo I just played earlier for this episode. And secondly, the end of last episode, the mid-season finale, where Barry is caught, sort of red-handed by the CCPD in his apartment with DeVoe's corpse in front of him, like it's pretty incriminating. The interesting thing to take from all of this is the mention of Iris and Joe deciding how far they are willing to go in order to keep Barry out of prison. Now, one of the hot theories going into this episode is that in order to keep himself out of prison and allow himself to, still protect Central City as the Flash, Barry would out himself as the Flash, like he would tell everyone. So admit to the judge, jury, and witnesses of that courtroom that he is in fact the fastest man alive, the Flash. There are little hints to that in the trailer for the episode, mainly when he is talking to Cecile, who will be his defense, just like in the comic story of the same name, The Trial of the Flash. Obviously, it's a bit different. That is centered around Barry actually killing a villain, not being framed for it. And in the case of that storyline in the comics, the villain is not the Thinker or Clifford DeVoe. It is actually, a little known character of the Reverse Flash, Eobard Thawne. But what if it is actually Joe and Iris that are possibly putting that decision up for Barry? They are the ones who are weighing up whether or not to reveal to the people involved, like the judge and jury, that Barry is the Flash. As it does look like Barry may think he's in a, checkmate position with no way out of the situation necessarily being that good. So no matter how he gets out of, prison possibly, there's always going to be a consequence, whether it be people know he's the Flash or something else along those lines. I do hope if this is the case that, Joe and Iris are the ones to, be chucking up the decision whether Barry reveals himself. I hope that Joe and Iris aren't the ones who actually make the decision. They're just the ones who are throwing the suggestion around and actually considering it being a real possibility for Barry. But if they were the ones that go, okay, let's bring up a press conference and tell everyone Barry's the Flash. If that's the case, then yeah, not going to be the biggest fan of that. Now, one thing I'd actually like to see in this episode is, well, we know Joe's going to be involved in getting, helping Barry get out of prison. But another person I'd like to see get involved would actually be Ralph, and see Joe and Ralph actually work together and actually use their detective skills in this episode. Try and find some evidence that goes like for Barry and like helps him in his case, proving that he didn't kill the Thinker. Or Clifford DeVoe, might I say. Hopefully they can do something along those lines in this episode. But we'll get to something else towards the end of the episode that might conflict that. But if they do that, Joe and Ralph working together using their detective skills, I would be one pretty happy man. Now, one thing I see a couple of people bringing up, actually more than a couple, but we'll just say a couple of people bringing up after the mid-season finale was there's no evidence going against Barry. Like, there's nothing proving that he killed Clifford DeVoe. And, well, yeah, there is. They sort of set things up in the mid-season finale, which I did appreciate. I love it when they actually give, references to things that are going to happen in the future, like little hints. We had the knife at the beginning of the episode, which was unmarked. I don't think it had a name on who it was given. It was like a wedding present, it was like an unknown gift. Barry picked up the knife, so it has his fingerprints on it instantly. So he picked it up at the beginning of episode 9 or the last episode. We also had the fact that Clifford DeVoe's body is actually in Barry's apartment, pretty incriminating. And also we had the recent history of Barry just stalking and harassing the DeVoes. Like there was a restraining order put on them, like he broke into their house and stuff like that. So there's a couple of things going against Barry, so it's no real surprise that Barry was immediately charged for this murder of Clifford DeVoe. So yeah, it's not too surprising there. And the last thing to talk about, and another thing that a lot of people have been bringing up, is whether this storyline, as in, the trial of the Flash, will only last one episode. And unfortunately, I think that's the case. I think it is only going to last one episode. We might get consequences from the trial of the Flash going on in future episodes, similar to Flashpoint. Like Flashpoint was one episode, but the consequences of Flashpoint continued on for multiple episodes afterwards, arguably the entire season that followed. So I think what's going to happen in this episode is that the episode will be Trial of the Flash. It's going to be Barry in court dealing with that. That's going to be the episode as a whole, but then we're just going to get like repercussions of this episode in the episodes to come, but it won't involve Barry being in jail, I'm guessing. And this is the point I was making about Joe and Ralph using their detective skills. That's the reason I think it might not happen, because I think they're all going to cram this like Trial of the Flash storyline into one episode, which is unfortunate, as I said. But if they, they can't spend too long on a storyline if they want other things to happen later in the season, if that makes sense. Especially, I think it would have been better to do Trial of the Flash maybe as the beginning of the next season and leave it as like a cliffhanger, like Barry being charged with the murder. But I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do in this mid-season premiere and what's to follow. I don't know what they're doing. It could be much better than anything I could think of. So we're going to have to, wait and see how it all goes. But yeah, for those people that wanted maybe the Trial of the Flash storyline, the episodes to be, 2 or 3, maybe 4 episodes, I think you're going to be let down. The most I could see it being is 2 episodes, and I think it's just going to be 1 due to the fact that the first this episode, might I say, is actually called The Trial of the Flash. So I think it's all going to be crammed into 1 episode, and we're just going to get some repercussions following in episodes to come. But thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, it would be awesome if you could drop a like. Let me know in the comment section down below. What are you looking forward to in this episode? Do you think the Trial of the Flash, storyline on the show is only going to be 1 episode, or do you think they're going to do more episodes than 1? Let me know in the comment section down below. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. I'll catch you later, guys, and goodbye.